Hello and welcome to our webinar, Wellness, Self-Care, Balance. I'm Annie Bostrom, Senior Editor for Adult Books at Booklist. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some technical details. Links to today's slide presentation and title list were included in the reminder email you received from Zoom 1 hour ago. To download them, please open that email, scroll to the bottom, and click on the links located there. You can also download the slides and title list by typing the URLs on this screen into your web browser. If you have any trouble accessing these materials, please contact us at webinars@booklistonline.com. The audience is in listen-only mode, but we welcome any questions you may have. On the bottom of your screen is a toolbar with a button for Q&A. If you have a question or need technical assistance, simply click Q&A and type your message into the box that appears. We will do our best to respond to all tech-related questions, and we'll pass along all other questions to today's panelists so they can follow up with you after the webinar. Booklist offers closed captioning on all webinars. To enable or disable captions on your screen, please look for and click the Captions icon on the toolbar mentioned earlier. From there, you can select Show or Hide Captions from the menu that appears. If you choose to enable subtitles, you can adjust the size of the captions at any time by selecting Caption Settings. And finally, Booklist expects all participants to maintain an atmosphere of respect and fairness. Anyone who violates this standard of behavior, including engaging in any form of harassment, may, at the discretion of the organizers, be immediately removed. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from Annie Mazes, Associate Director of Library Marketing at Hachette, Maddie Hughes, School and Library Marketing Manager for Disney Publishing, and Lydia Anderson, Senior Marketing Manager at Quarto Group. First, we'll hear from Annie Mazes. Annie is the Associate Director of Library Marketing at Hachette. Some of her favorite books include The Orphan Master's Son and Lady Pancake and Sir French Toast. Thanks for joining us, Annie.
Thank you, Annie. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here this afternoon. I'm Annie Mazes with Hachette Book Group. This is our email address and website and socials. Please reach out if you have any questions about what you hear today or anything that we're publishing. We are happy to chat or send you ARCs if we have them. Next slide, please. I'm going to start with some brand new books that are available right now, but I would be remiss if I didn't include them, starting with 6 Seasons of Pasta. 6 Seasons, A New Way with Vegetables was an amazing cookbook that Joshua McFadden wrote a few years ago, and it revolutionized the way people cook with vegetables. Now he is back to transform the way we cook and eat pasta. I'm here for that, very supportive of this plan. There are more than 125 recipes organized by season, plus Italian classics that everyone might probably want to have in their repertoire, from cacio e pepe to pasta fagioli. The Talisman of Happiness is an epic book. It was a massive undertaking for the publisher, who spent 10 years trying to get this published in America. This book was first published in 1929, 2 years before The Joy of Cooking, and it is like the definitive culinary guide for Italians. It's never been out of print in Italy, and for the first time ever, it is now being published in English. Conversions for measurements and such. It features 1,700 recipes and is carefully translated to preserve the spirit of the original book. And Surviving Climate Anxiety. With climate disasters mounting and solutions feeling ever more elusive, eco-anxiety is very real. Leading climate expert Dr. Thomas Dougherty shares his pioneering evidence-based methods to help. This is packed with practical research-backed tips and dozens of stories. Okay, next up, starting with some self-help. The Abortion Companion, out in January. This book has a real emphasis on self-compassion. It collects reflections, prompts, affirmations, conversation scripts, logistical information, and much more to validate and support the reader. It's bolstered by beautiful illustrations and caring, confident support of author and reproductive rights advocate Becca Ray Tucker. This book will meet readers wherever they are and offer guidance for every step of their journey. Next is The Intimate Animal. Why do we love who we love? And why do we stay in unfulfilling relationships and stray from rewarding ones? How has the digital age impacted courtship? Like Alfred Kinsey before him, Justin Garcia has researched love, sex, and intimacy on a never-before-seen scale and illuminates the mysteries of how we date, mate, and navigate our love lives. This book is based on the full body of research conducted through the Kinsey Institute, as well as data from Singles in America, the most comprehensive annual scientific survey of single Americans. This is one of the first books of its kind to meaningfully include LGBTQ plus perspectives, as well as consensually non-monogamous and polyamorous relationships. It's also generationally inclusive with material on everything from the hookup habits of Gen Alpha to how elders approach online dating. It's a research-backed guide to forging deeper, more intimate connections in these disconnected times. Next is When Good Moms Feel Bad. The Internal Family Systems is a psychotherapy that poses that people have parts that form early in life and support survival when we're being raised, but then perhaps stick around when they are no longer conducive to our health. In this book, two psychotherapists and moms apply the workings of IFS to motherhood and parenting in order to address difficult and often suppressed emotions such as fear, anger, guilt, disappointment, ambivalence, and shame and grief that can accompany motherhood. Their practical program offers a way for any mom to identify pain points, make sense of any distress, and begin to find relief. Next is Get Home Safe. Rana Abdelhamid is the founder and executive director of Malika, a nonprofit organization dedicated to building safety and power for marginalized communities through self-defense education, financial literacy, and mental health resources. In this book, Abdelhamid emphasizes the need of self-defense for women by both empowering the individual and taking systemic issues into account. At a moment when women of color and immigrant women in particular feel under attack, Abdelhamid arms them with emergency self-defense and a long-term vision for making our communities safer. Next is The Japanese Way of Parenting. Lisa Katayama's Japanese Way of Parenting brings the principles of Japanese parenting to Americans, emphasizing unconditional love, community, harmony with nature to nurture children who are well-behaved, respectful, and creative. Katayama takes readers along with her as she travels back and forth from her motherland of Tokyo to the East Bay of California to expose her two American mixed-race children to the importance of routine and ritual and the beliefs of simplified spaces, the power in making everyday things cute. Raising kids who are independent but also community-minded is at the heart of this methodology. All right, moving on, we're going to talk about some wellness titles. Astroherbalism is the study and practice of observing correlations between plants, celestial bodies, zodiac signs, and our earthy experiences. It's gained popularity as people aim to find connection to nature and themselves through ancient practices and knowledge. With this book, readers can learn about the unique qualities of each celestial body and corresponding astrological sign, discover the therapeutic properties of plants, and blend ancient wisdom with contemporary practices to create a practical tool for self-care. Next is Mothering the Mother. As a mother, grandmother, and traditional midwife, Sophia M. Monroe intimately knows about childbirth and the fourth trimester. For over 40 years, she's helped thousands give birth and has taught thousands more how to support birthing parents, all integrating the deep wisdom of African American healing traditions. The information in this book can save Black mothers' lives. With African American women disproportionately suffering from maternal mortality and morbidity, there is an urgent need for an embrace of African American postpartum care that surrounds the new mother and her baby with community, love, and protection. Tell me where it hurts. We are in the middle of a pain epidemic, yet for decades we've misunderstood what pain actually is. Rachel Zoffness focuses not only on what's going on inside us, but around us as well, challenging the prevalent belief that pain is purely physical. She is a leading global pain expert, pain psychologist, speaker, author, disruptor, and thought leader in pain medicine. She's on the faculty at UCSF School of Medicine. She's a former pain education faculty member at Dartmouth and winner of the prestigious Mayday Fellowship She has a lot of experience in this field, and she understands how to get at the root of treating pain. Next is Invincible. Endocrinologist and foremost female expert in longevity, Florence Comite, has treated thousands of patients over 20 plus years and collected significant data about how to reverse the diseases and symptoms of biological aging. By collecting the 5 key biomarkers of health, a snapshot of current and future health, and analyzing your family health history and lifestyle habits, you can recognize yourself in one or more of 7 patterns of health decline. Once you know your patterns, Comite prescribes actions to reverse biological aging, metabolic disorders, heart disease, and memory decline. Now, the next book, Why Not Waltz to Your Alarm Clock, not normally a book I would present, but it is delightful and it's fun, and I feel like we could all use a little bit more of that in the world. This book encourages adult readers to get in touch with their inner child and find beauty in everyday life through simple mindfulness activities. This will resonate with an audience of readers hungry for playful, easy ways to ground themselves and embrace life's simple pleasures. Next is the Double-Blind Guide to Psychedelics. Today, the community of people who use or want to use psychedelics is greater than ever before. And to help newbies and experienced psychonauts alike navigate this world is this comprehensive, inspiring, and playful guide created by the founders of Double Blind, leading authorities on psychedelics. It covers the basics of each substance, including where it comes from, how it's ingested, dosage, what to expect from a trip, and much more. Okay, and I think to round out this, the slide was made by my daughter, and I didn't have the heart to delete it because she was so proud of it. But I'm going to talk about some cookbooks to wrap up. So, Hormone Healthy Eats. Certified health coach Lauren Chambers provides science-backed, food-first approach to supporting reproductive health. Chambers outlines the 4 principles of hormone balance and teaches readers to support the ebbs and flows of their cycle with delicious recipes, simple tips, and natural remedies. 100 simple gluten-free recipes make it easy and fun to nourish your body through every phase of your cycle. Eat to Hustle. New York Times bestselling author and 27-time marathon runner, Robin Arzon, serves 75 nutrient-dense, protein-packed, high-fiber recipes designed to keep you fueled throughout the day. Things like kimchi ginger poke bowls, tempeh buffalo dip, and gooey cinnamon rolls will keep your energy high so you can feel confident that what you eat is what your body needs. My Jamaican Table. Jamaican cuisine is the result of a rich blend of cultural influences, indigenous, African, Indian, Chinese, and European. Kingston-born chef Andre Fowles presents more than 100 classic and traditional recipes. There are iconic Jamaican dishes like jerk chicken, pepper shrimp, that tell the story of the island's culture and history, but also new spins like oxtail and gnocchi, a fish and chips inspired escovitch fish sandwich, rum cake tiramisu that showcase Jamaica's modern sensibilities. There are gorgeous full color photos throughout of the recipe and of the landscape. And finally, vegetables the Italian way. Italians have a real gift for making vegetables. It's about simplicity, balance, and an instinctive understanding of flavor to get the best out of each one. The recipes in this book celebrate cucina casalinga, Italian home cooking. They include some of Italy's most iconic dishes like eggplant parmesan, panzanella salad, Sicilian caponata, as well as regional favorites like braised artichokes and fennel gratin. Also, beautiful photographs throughout from the Italian gardens and the countryside, along with all of the recipes. That is everything for me. Thank you so much for your time. Reach out with any questions.
Thank you so much, Annie. Next, we'll hear from Maddie Hughes. Maddie is the School and Library Marketing Manager for Disney Publishing, where she has been a part of the team since 2018. She is thrilled to be able to read and talk about books of all kinds as part of her job. Originally from Denver, Colorado, Maddie is now based in LA, where she loves to hike, knit, and of course, visit her local library. Thanks for being here today, Maddie.
Thanks, Annie. Just get set up. As Annie mentioned, I'm Maddie. I'm the School and Library Marketing Manager for Disney Publishing, which includes our 2 adult imprints, National Geographic and Hyperion Avenue. And I'm so happy to be here today to share some of our upcoming titles that fit in these categories of wellness and cookbooks. The first two titles are not necessarily traditional wellness titles, but they're sort of inspirational, which I think is a form of wellness for some people. So first up is the recently released Possibility is Your Superpower by Victoria Alonso. As a creative powerhouse and a former president of physical and post-production visual effects and animation production for Marvel Studios, Victoria Alonso knows a thing or two about success. First, as a young person in Argentina living through a military dictatorship, and then as a 19-year-old newly arrived in America, saying yes to possibilities again and again laid the path for Alonso to become who she is today. Empowering, entertaining, and steeped in lived experience, Possibility is Your Superpower is the story of a groundbreaking woman in Hollywood and a primer for creating your own success, taking control of your own destiny, and claiming your seat at the table. Next slide. In Sisters Loved and Treasured, stories of unbreakable bonds, award-winning ABC News journalist and New York Times bestselling author Deborah Roberts curates a collection of conversations, meditations, and anecdotes from her own sisters, celebrity friends, and everyday people alike who share deeply personal accounts of how their relationships as sisters shaped their lives. This follow-up to Roberts' previous collection, Lessons Learned and Cherished, Teachers Who Saved My Life, features 50 stories about sisterhood, including many from Deborah's high-profile friends, including Viola Davis, Jenna Bush Hager, and Barbara Bush, Ariana Huffington, Octavia Spencer, and more. This heartwarming collection is perfect for those who love Chicken Soup for the Soul and other similar titles. Next slide. Now moving on to some travel titles from National Geographic. The Traveler's Atlas of the World is the ultimate traveler's reference with bucket list-worthy travel recommendations for every country in the world. Whether you're ready to pack your bags tomorrow or making plans for a future trip, or you just love to armchair travel, this book has something for everyone. Next slide. Featuring beautiful National Geographic photography and 250 illustrated maps, the Traveler's Atlas of the World delivers essential information, fun road trips. Some examples include Germany's great castles and a journey down the Nile, and infinite inspiration through more than 300 spectacular photographs with signature storytelling and invaluable traveler secrets. Next slide. For the traveler who wants to stay a little closer to home and get out in the great outdoors, National Geographic is releasing an all-new guide to the national parks of the United States. Coming in at a whopping 736 pages, the Ultimate Guide to the National Parks is a comprehensive guide containing everything you need to plan a trip to any one of the 63 national parks in the United States, including the ones in Alaska. Next slide. Among the many pages of valuable information, a few highlights include expert recommendations for the best walking and hiking trails, scenic overlooks, campgrounds, drives, and wildlife spotting, park ranger recommendations for hidden gems to visit, lists of thrilling adventure opportunities like kayaking or sandboarding, and maps of every park. Next slide. I'm excited to share that the newest book in the 100 Hikes of a Life, or not Hikes of a Lifetime, just the 100 of a Lifetime series, which has featured everything from the 100 best beaches to train journeys around the world, is returning with 100 Hikes of a Lifetime USA. The original 100 Hikes of a Lifetime has been incredibly popular, so I'm excited about this next installment that exclusively covers hikes in the US. I personally am really excited about this book since it doesn't only feature monumental treks like the Pacific Crest Trail or the Coast to Coast American Discovery Trail, but day hikes and backpacking treks for those of us who only have the desire or, let's be real, time available for a more limited trip. Next slide. And in true Nat Geo fashion, each hike is complemented by stunning National Geographic photography and includes information on trail length and elevation, skill level, and worthwhile scenic resting spots. Plus, there's expert recommendations for where to stay, from campsites to nearby lodges, wildlife spotting, alternative routes, and planning tips. Next slide. Now moving on to some cookbooks and food-related wellness titles. First up is National Geographic Backyard Guide to Wild Edible Plants. Curious about foraging but don't know where to start? Familiar with local wild plants but looking for ideas on how to use them? This is the perfect guide for both beginner and experienced harvesters, since in addition to providing a comprehensive guide to over 100 common edible wild plants, there are over 600 ideas and recipes to bring the wild into the kitchen. Next slide. This guide is divided into 7 sections based on the parts of the plant most relevant to foragers: roots, leaves, flowers, fruits, seeds, and shoots, as well as the backyard superstars, a dozen plants that are common, easy to identify, and abundant in their culinary possibilities. Every plant is photographed, illustrated for ease of learning, and described in detail, and has suggestions for uses and preparations. Next slide. The Blue Zone's Kitchen one-pot meals. After more than 20 years spent uncovering the secrets of the Blue Zones, the happiest and healthiest places around the world, the #1 New York Times bestselling author and Emmy-winning host of Netflix's Live to 100, Dan Buettner, puts the lessons he's learned into practice. This mouthwatering cookbook features 100 quick and easy one-pot and one-pan plant-based recipes inspired by the Blue Zones, many made in 30 minutes or less. Next slide. The cookbook includes recipes like guacamole and bean tacos, as seen here, a creamy white bean and tomato soup, and a plant-based slow cooker bourguignon, which and is a perfect entry point for those looking to put some of the Blue Zones principles into practice in their own lives, or who just want some options for easy plant-based meals. Next slide. Delve into foodways of the United States in American Soul, equal parts historical exploration and cookbook. This book reveals the rich and indelible contribution of the Black diaspora in shaping the footprint of American cuisine. This illuminating narrative comes from Anela Malik, the voice behind the popular Feed the Malik, as she tracks the development of American cuisine from the days of the transatlantic slave trade to modern day. With nuance and empathy, Anela reveals the unrecognized Black roots of some of the most iconic American food traditions and provides a deeper understanding of the profound yet hidden contributions of the Black community to American cuisine. Next slide. This book also profiles Black food voices in food with reflections and profiles of more than 30 Black chefs and cultural luminaries like Jessica B. Harris and Cheryl Day, along with 40 recipes including gumbo, macaroni and cheese, and chicken purlieu. For anyone who's interested in knowing more about the history of American cuisine, this is an absolute must-read. Next slide. Returning to the topic of national parks, whether you're planning a trip to the parks or just returned home, or maybe even while you're there, if you have a really ambitious campsite cooking setup, you could enjoy a taste of the parks with the National Geographic National Parks Cookbook. This cookbook has 100 recipes inspired by America's national parks. Some are recipes for famous dishes served at a lodge or local restaurant, like the historic popovers first served at Acadia National Parks in the 1890s. While others are inspired by the local cuisine and ingredients found in and around the parks. Think all things huckleberry and glacier. Each recipe pays homage to the park's unique nature and beauty. Next slide. Just as an example, this slide shows one of the recipes inspired by Yellowstone. The campfire cobbler is inspired by one that is served at a local Old West dinner cookout that you can attend near Yellowstone. Next slide. And finally, I would like to present Attainable Sustainable Pantry. This book came out in March 2025, so you may already be familiar, but I wanted to give it a mention since I just thought it was a good fit with the topic of the webinar. The book is by Chris Bordessa, who's a master food preserver who lives on a farm in Hawaii and shares her knowledge about ways to make your own pantry staples. This book shares methods on how to meal prep more efficiently, reduce waste, cut out processed ingredients, and enjoy more homemade foods year-round, all from the bounty of your own cupboards. Next slide. And this just gives a look at the interiors. This book really has everything you could want to know about canning, along with a lot of other just practical information. Next slide. That's all for me. If you have any questions about these titles or you want to get in touch, please feel free to reach out to me via email. Thank you all so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Maddie. Finally, we'll hear from Lydia Anderson. Lydia is the Senior Marketing Manager at the Quarto Group. Lydia began her work in publishing with Wisdom Publications before joining the Quarto Group in 2017. Her work with Quarto has included title marketing for the Body, Mind, Spirit list and Art, Craft, and Design list, as well as social media management, partnerships, and special projects. Lydia needs to read at least one chapter of a book before falling asleep each night, and she also enjoys baking and knitting. Take it away, Lydia.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here. You can go to the next slide, please. And we have a lot of books to get through. So I'm going to dive right in to wellness for body and mind. Next slide, please. If Elle Woods had an exercise book, I have a feeling this might be it. Mia Lend is the founder of Hot Girl Walk, which is an international movement of walking outdoors together for 4 miles up to every day. And what she's done in this book is take that 4-mile walk and the process of getting there and building it up and using it to empower your life, find gratitude, set goals, and build self-confidence. It's more than a workout, it's a movement to empowerment. Next slide, please. As you build from mile 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, so anyone can start this if you can walk, Mia will help you craft a daily exercise routine, and also included are success stories from around the globe. Next slide. Seasons of the Desert by Sonoran Rosie takes a look at 75 plants from the southwestern United States and breaks them up into the seasons where they bloom. This is a gorgeous book, certainly fantastic for everyone in the Southwest, but speaking as a very cold New Englander right now, I am dreaming of the desert as the weather starts to plummet. In the book, Rosie teaches how to identify different plants, how to forage them, and also how to use them. Next slide, please. As you can see, there are beautiful illustrations accompanying each plant, information on the various habitats, lifespans, environmental links, and also she includes recipes for tinctures, skincare, food and drink, such as this delicious looking prickly pear fruit juice. So it's a fantastic book to learn how to use the plants of the Southwest to better your everyday life. Next slide, please. Sticking with plants, we have the practical science of herbs. In this book, you can discover the real science behind 50 healing herbs from a renowned scientist, Aisha Hillhart. What she does here is really gives the why of all the wisdom that's been passed down through the years, through all kinds of cultures. Why does ginger help in digestion? Why is garlic great for immunity? Next slide, please. Diving into the chemical reactions and active compounds, she still is able to keep a very conversational tone so that this is a book you can pick up without a science degree and continues to honor the traditions that have been passed down since these herbs were cultivated. She also includes recipes for tinctures, teas, and essential oils so that you can incorporate this science once again into your daily life and use it for all sorts of remedies. This publishes in December. Next slide, please. Break Up with Narcissism is another title coming out this December, and I think really one of the most important books on our list this year. Inside, Dr. Elena Kastner, gives a 4-step process to leaving an abusive relationship with a narcissist. Recognize the abuse dynamic, protect your emotional health, break free, and finally heal from that trauma. Next slide, please. Dr. Kastner is a family therapist with years and years of experience. So she has the background needed to identify narcissistic behavior and abusive relationships. And she also writes with compassion and love. So it really feels like you're getting advice from your best friend. Next slide, please. As we know, unfortunately, abusive relationships can be found in every community, and we can't always recognize the signs. So I do believe this is an incredibly important book to have in every library. Next slide, please. Shifting gears, we have The Mindful Mom. This is a book with 365 reflections and meditations for mothers. It's a guide for moms to really reclaim their life outside of being a mom, going from an attitude of, I should do this, I should do that, to I desire, and beginning to turn inward and making sure you're taking care of yourself. Next slide, please. Inside, moms can really rediscover their authentic self day by day. This is certainly a book that many people might pick up as a gift, but if you've seen the tired and perhaps wild looks on moms as they sometimes drop their kids off for story time, I think this book would be a welcome find on your shelves. Next slide. Okay, moving on to Cooking for Health. We have some delicious books that I think will really help build a healthier 2026. Next slide, please. Starting with Simple Meal Solutions for Insulin Resistance. About 40% of Americans have some sort of insulin resistance, and this book provides 75 recipes that can all be created at or under 30 minutes. So people struggling or just living with insulin resistance can have delicious food for every single meal, including dessert. Next slide. The author is a registered dietitian and includes nutritional analysis for every recipe. She also includes modifications for allergies and dietary preferences, so everyone can use this book. Next slide. And this is one of 3 books in our Simple Meal Solutions series. You can see we also have a book for high cholesterol diets available now, or for people living with high cholesterol, not adding cholesterol in. And also coming in January, Simple Meal Solutions for GLP-1 diets. We are certainly seeing a rise in people on GLP-1 drugs, and so they need to know how to cook for themselves and to adjust their diets a little bit so that everything continues to work well. And that title comes out in January. Next slide, please. Moving from adults to kiddos, Naturally Nourished Kids is written by 2 registered dietitians and includes recipes low in glycemics and are anti-inflammatory. It's a mouthful. And also delicious for the pickiest of eaters. They include recipes that are suitable for all ages, from toddlers up through teenage years. Next slide, please. These are 100 recipes with nutritional information included. And as you can see, they know what kids want. Kids want chicken nuggets. So these are also delicious, which is very important. In addition, the authors provide guidance on having conversations about food and health with your children, and also guidance on getting your kids involved in the kitchen so that they're helping to make the meals that they can enjoy. Next slide, please. Every year, the US News and World Report lists the Mediterranean diet as the best diet. There's a reason for that. It's easy, it's healthy, and it's delicious. But anytime you start a new diet, it can be overwhelming. Enter the 30-day Mediterranean meal plan and cookbook. This 30-day plan makes it very simple to kick off the new year with a healthy lifestyle. Next slide, please. It includes 80 recipes, all meals, snacks, and of course desserts. And it's a gradual introduction. You aren't going full throttle here, but you're easing into this diet so that it really can be a lifestyle change. Next slide. Another 30-day challenge we have is in unprocess. Ultra-processed foods have been in the news. There's a lot of conversation about it, and a lot of people are looking to eliminate some or all ultra-processed foods from their diets. In unprocessed, Jason Adetola Maxon gives you a 30-day plan to do just that. There are 90 recipes. All have been reviewed and approved by qualified nutritionists, and they're all delicious. Next slide. It's not just salads and it's not just raw foods. Things like this gorgeous looking bean curry that I might have to make tonight are included. And what I think is very important is he includes guidance for how to continue this lifestyle after the 30 days are up. You have recipes for 30 days, but you're not on your own after that month is up. Next slide, please. All right, we're going to end with what I'm calling creative wellness. These are the fun ways that we can bring our spirits up and live a mindful and well life. Next slide. We're going to start with Happy Nordic Knits. The author, Une Cecile Oxfold, is a knitter, and she's someone who has struggled with depression and anxiety and has credited her knitting practice into helping her, along with treatment, to get better. So with this book, she's really paying it forward, and in the process, sharing some beautiful and truly happy patterns. Next slide. This book has 23 colorful, size-inclusive designs, and it also includes some zero waste projects. So it's not just about healing yourself and being a little bit more mindful yourself, but also being more mindful for your community and for the earth. And as you can see, they are truly happy, happy, happy colors and patterns. You can't help but smile when you look through this title. Next slide. In A Year of Garden-Inspired Living, one of our best-selling authors, Linda Vader, teaches us how to make the ordinary extraordinary by bringing the outdoor gardening lifestyle into our daily life, season by season. Next slide. Linda wants us to be like plants. We need to follow the seasons, and sometimes that means being indoors when we might rather be outdoors. But she also teaches us how to bring that garden inside. It's a beautiful book with gorgeous illustrations and inspiration all year round. Next slide. If you're like me and you're a baker, you know the therapeutic nature of kneading dough. And if you've been to Europe, you know that bread just seems to taste better there. So mastering Italian breads, I think, is perfect. Because it teaches us how to make these delicious recipes and also get that aggression out when we're kneading. The author, Fulvio Marino, is a noted Italian baker, and he's brought all kinds of delicious recipes into this title. Next slide. It includes all types of breads, the ones we know, ciabatta, focaccia, but also ones that you might not, like this delicious looking sweet raisin bun. He also includes recipes from all the regions of Italy. So if you love Stanley Tucci's TV shows, this is also the book for you. Next slide. Nishant Jain is an urban sketcher and author, and he wants us to get off of our phones. If you are someone, and I'll admit I am, who pulls your phone out as soon as you have 10 seconds without something to do, Nishant suggests pulling out a sketchbook instead and beginning to draw. Next slide. With Make Sneaky Art, he helps you to shift to an artistic lifestyle, one where you can really observe what's going on and slow down your thoughts, and in the process, become a better artist. Next slide. And I'm wrapping up with some titles that I might not normally present at a book list webinar, but I think there is something that you'll love. Color and Sleuth are coloring books, But as you color, you solve a mystery. Next slide, please. If you have a book club, especially a mystery book club, I think these would be fantastic options to have for giveaways or gifts, or just to make available to your book club members. And they're adorable. Next slide. And finally, our survival activity books cover a wide range of life events and things we might love, like cats and dogs. Again, if you have clubs or organizations that use your libraries, I think these are great to have on hand. Next slide. You can see that there are coloring pages and also puzzles, so you're really keeping your mind active with these titles. Next slide. And that's our list. You can find all of these titles. We've made an Edelweiss collection, so you can check them out. Next slide. And please, of course, feel free to reach out with any questions or to request copies of any of these titles. We're happy to send them out. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lydia, and a big thank you to all of today's presenters. Tomorrow, all attendees will receive an email containing links to today's slide presentation, title list, certificate of completion, and video recording. For more about Booklist webinars, be sure to visit booklistonline.com/webinars, where you can view archives of past webinars and register for upcoming ones like those you see here. You can also find out about the latest webinars on our social media channels. Visit us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. One more huge thank you to our panelists and to our sponsors, Hachette, Disney Publishing, and Quarto. This concludes today's webinar. See you next time.